Okay, so in my previous video number 13, I mentioned that you're going to also need to make these rods right here for the trailing edges. These are 9 inches from the center to the very edge here where the aileron begins. Now I've already cut these ailerons. The dimensions for the ailerons are 2.5 by 10. So that's going to fit there. You're going to have to remove a little more material from the side, from one side of the aileron, so that it is able to swing freely once you get this hinged in place. This does not get reinforcement because the reinforcement is actually this hinge point right here that I mentioned in my earlier video. So once that's done, you're going to need 2 more rods to reinforce this end right here, and those are going to be from that same third rod. You're going to need 2 7-inch rods that are going to form a reinforcement here for this section right here. This is going to be 7 inches, and you're going to need those rods right there. Later on, I'll explain how to attach these rods to the foam. There's a couple ways to do this. I like to do it with P clips. The P clips that I use on my wings, like this. After reinforcing it with tape, I use these P clips here to hold it nice and firm and more permanent. And so that's one way to do this. Don't glue the rods. I don't like gluing my rods. I just like to maybe tack glue just slightly to hold it in place, and then come back with tape, packaging tape. I use this stuff right here, which is pretty good stuff. Easy Start. This is Duck brand packaging tape. So it's there may be some other brands that you can use, but don't use cheap ones because they won't stick, they won't hold really well. So you're going to need 2 7-inch rods basically to do the tips right here, and what that does is it prevents this from flexing here, because we created a weak point by introducing this rod that is going to be the hinge point for the aileron. But once this rod is in place right here, it'll create a brace, a T-brace, and that'll reinforce it really well. In case you have a mishap, you land hard on the side of the wing, it's not going to rip this section right here, as it typically happens. When you have a wing that is just floating like that, you can see how this has cracked right here, and sometimes it cracks on this side right here if you land too hard on the side of the wing. So that is my setup, for the wing. I've also cut the horizontal stabilizer. You can see that my may as well. Well, I'm going to talk about this in my next video because I don't have enough time here. But I've cut the horizontal stabilizer, the vertical stabilizer, and the rudder.